Seems to me that Chicago real estate is really, really down in the dumps. Look at some of Chicago real estate prices. We're looking at 12 stories, 300 square feet of space, selling for $4 million. That is incredibly cheap. It's almost like they're trying to pay someone else to get the building off their hands because the real estate prices in Chicago are enormous. Buying those big 12-story skyscrapers, you're going to be paying a lot of money to the city every single year. So they're literally selling for pennies on the dollar right now. If you check out what's going on here, even more loop office landlords are in the default stage. This one defaulted on $51 million worth of loans. This is just the beginning. This is actually one of the smaller defaults. In fact, we're going to be seeing even more pain coming in for Chicago real estate. Look at this. Not only is Chicago real estate having big foreclosures, but we also have the government over there trying to implement some sort of real estate transfer tax. This really isn't meant for residential real estate, but instead it's for commercial real estate because Chicago has some of the biggest commercial real estate transactions. We're looking at $7.5 billion versus less than $1 billion for residential real estate. Look at this. The taxes will absolutely destroy commercial real estate. Not to mention it's already pretty busted up right now. Commercial sales have plummeted by 51% this year. The Bring Chicago Home is failing to recognize the revenue source for the transfer taxes is plummeting. If you look at some of the projections of commercial real estate, it's bad. And then you put in a transfer tax. So when you buy commercial property, you have to pay a certain percentage to the city. It's just extra stuff, extra payment, and it's just a big turnoff. Vacancy rates in Chicago are actually one of the highest in the world. And this is not something that landlords want. Considering that Chicago has the second highest commercial property taxes in the nation at almost at 4%. This is really expensive, guys. And the only one that's more expensive than Chicago is Detroit. This is why Detroit is like selling their houses for like $1. It's just so the city could get property tax. And look at this, Chicago, so expensive. This is very pricey. So we're looking at pricey property taxes. Home insurance is also very expensive, one of the highest in the nation. And then lastly, you got the governor or the city council wants to implement a transfer tax. So good luck trying to sell these units. And it sucks. Imagine you're a landlord, you own one of these buildings, you want to offload it. Nobody wants it. Okay. It's already pretty bad. And then they're offering a massive tax slab on your property. And check this out. Chicago, by far the worst, as distressed commercial real estate loans surge nationally. Nationwide, it's just bad. You got a lot of these buildings just going foreclosure. Some people also compare a lot of these buildings to investments that are worse than crypto because at least crypto coins go up occasionally. Commercial real estate is truly down in the dumps. And it's not just that, man. Like, we got a lot of vacancies in Chicago, but they're still somehow building more skyscrapers. We don't really know what in the world's going on. But the final touches and landscape work is finished on the Salesforce Tower in Chicago. Absolutely beautiful building, but a beautiful building with little to no tenants. Not really sure what's going on, but I think the governments and many banks need to really limit this. They can't have all these skyscrapers being built when most of them are being empty. Chicago vacancies are 30 to 40% in several other buildings. And now you build another massive building. Doesn't make that much sense to me, right? And it's not just this building. This building is new as well. That building is also fairly new. And many of these buildings are not getting any sort of tenants. And they're still putting more projects in the pipeline. Despite the moment they build these, vacancies go up, vacancies go up. Like, I get it if you're building these skyscrapers when vacancies are super low and everyone is fighting tooth and nail to get office space. But right now, people are literally selling office space for pennies on the dollar. And there's still developers who have big commercial projects in the pipeline. Not really sure what's going on. Rumors are that some developers are betting big that office work returns. But it's 2024 and hybrid work is the move. And by the way, a lot of companies have already left many of these big cities. But these big cities, like even New York City, is building more office space. Look at Chicago right here. You already got some high profile headquarter losses for the city and its surrounding suburbs. Last year, major corporations like Caterpillar, Citadel, Boeing, Tyson Foods all announced relocations outside of the Chicago area to other areas. If you look at Citadel by Ken Griffin, they literally moved to Miami. Ken Griffin said that the crime in Chicago is so bad, even his penthouse lobby got shot up. Imagine you're so rich, you bought a penthouse, and the first couple floors has bullet holes. not exactly the best place to be as a hedge fund. He's in Miami now, and he doesn't regret the situation. You know who else is in Miami? Bezos, who moved from Seattle. Many of these super left-leaning cities are running themselves to the ground, and a lot of these people are simply leaving. When you have this many foreclosures, this many vacancies, and insane property taxes and transfer taxes, no wonder investors are getting out of Chicago. Thanks for watching, guys, and before we leave, check out the private Discord server, guys. Patreon link below for some awesome trades, and we trade live on a daily basis every single day. So trade with us, guys. It's free for 7 days anyway.